Hello, this is Massachusetts Beer Reviews, back with you again. I just did a video of this beer with the Louisiana Beer Reviews Wednesday night beer examinations. I felt I needed to get this one, recorded and done for my own channel purposes. This one is a Shatterproof 40. It is called Miller's Milwaukee's Best Ice. 5.9% alcohol by volume. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Per 12 ounces of this beer, you get 144 calories, 7.3 carbs, and again, 5.9% alcohol by volume. The information I can give you all on this beer that didn't watch that video is simply put that the Milwaukee's Best Ice was nationally introduced in 1994, and that was during the time of the ice ice beer craze, which started with Ice House beer. Um, they say it's a highly drinkable ice beer. Temperature of Milwaukee's Best Ice is lowered to below freezing during brewing to form ice crystals that impart the beer's smoothness and 5.9% alcohol content. Milwaukee's Best Beer is the affordable pale ice lager for men who want to turn regular time into beer time. Ingredients are water, barley malt, dextrose, which is the corn syrup, yeast, hops, and hop extract. So this is just one of those other beers in the ice beer craze. I'm gonna still have some in the bottle. Here's the cap. Kind of looks like a hockey puck. Have some in the glass. I'm going to pour more into it, just straight down to give it that extra head, if it will give me one. And here is what you get from a Milwaukee's Best Beer. Ice beer. You can probably see me on the camera from the reflection of this ever so clear, pale, straw colored beer, but it is a lot darker than Milwaukee's Best or Miller High Life. The head on this one is dying quickly, which it did when I was drinking it. And there's some carbonation going on as typical to an American style lager. So let's give it a nose on the Beast Ice, as they call it. And the nose that I get is a faint one at this point. But the nose that I do get is strong of that grainy sweetness, that corny syrupiness with the cooked vegetables and some of that wet grassy cardboard notes. So I mean, at that point in time, it's just maybe it's just stronger in the cereal in that grainy cardboard note, the sweetness than Milwaukee's Best or even like a Budweiser type beer. So here's my taste test on Milwaukee's Best Ice. Cheers, guys. Ice beers, as compared to the standard straight up um, adjunct lagers like your Pabst Ribbons, Miller, High Lifes, Budweiser's, Coors, banquet beers, they're going to have a bolder flavor and probably a bigger sweetness, and those are the two things that I instantly noticed drinking the Beast Ice. It's a lot sweeter than the Milwaukee's Best, and it's a lot sweeter than Miller High Life for sure, or MGD. It's got a bigger boldness and a richness to it. You can get that syrupy kind of a sweetness to it, although this is light to medium towards the medium side in the body, and it is crisp, clean, somewhat clean. We'll get to that in a second. And it's highly refreshing. This could be well suited for other times of the year than um, 6 feet of snow on the ground and it's being cold as hell outside. But the what was I going to talk about here? The finishes, the cleanness and the finish go hand in hand. It is not a clean beer because of its finish, and let me tell you why that is. That I think that. I think this beer has, it's crisp and it has all that graininess in that, and the feel of a richer tasting lager, American lager beer, and then that finishes all kinds of not clean, and it just doesn't, and it finishes just has a very, it's got a very rough finish. Malt liquors do not quite as much as this ice beer, but they do seem to have a rougher finish. Let me see if I can explain that. It just finishes like syrupy, sweet, and oily, and it just gets kind of like this musky, wet, cardboardy kind of a taste. And it takes a little while for it to eventually dry out in the mouthfeel, but it eventually does dry out in the mouthfeel. So, besides it being crisp, clean, relatively clean, and it being refreshing at the right time of the year with the weather, I would say that this is not the beer that I'm gonna, pick up on a regular basis or any kind of a beer that I'm going to be seeking out in the future. I really did like the Milwaukee's Best regular line of beer. So I'm gonna give this, I guess. I mean, it gets a 3. The only thing I really dislike about this beer is how it finishes and some of that sweetness to it. But for a dollar, between $1.30 and 50 that I paid for it, there's the cooked vegetables flavor. It's still gonna get a 3. For the dollar between 30 and 50 I paid for this 40, it's an okay value. Can't complain. This will get a 3 out of 5, 50 out of 100, a C rating. Until next time, for the love of God, drink a Goose Island Bourbon County Stout. We'll see you next time. Oh, keep tasting those great beers.